Ibra di testa, Tonali, gol! Sandro! Meritato! Sandro! Gol!
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the SempreMilan podcast. I'm your host, Ollie Fisher, joined once again by Anthony Torgrud.
What's up, guys? Glad to be back. Yeah.
And Maddie is here as well. Yeah. Great stuff. We've got the gang all here. Not an awful lot to talk about in terms of news, so we've decided to do something a little bit different for this episode, which will become apparent very quickly. But just touching on the main news developments that there's been, as I say, not too many of them. We're not getting Sven Botman. He's going to Newcastle. He's chosen money. Do you know what? I don't blame him. By the sounds of,
I don't think he's chosen money. I think Lille's forced him
Lille
to choose
did.
money.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
a part of me actually respects that he was willing to do that for the club that essentially kickstarted his career. You know, they were in a tight spot. They needed it. They really wanted them to push for that. So I get there. He's like, all right, I'm leaving. You know I'm their best player. I'm leaving. I'm going to go find greener pastures. Well, he might not have, but yeah, you give him one last thing. Obviously, he was waiting for us and we wanted him, but we were never meeting that valuation that Newcastle was putting forth. So it is what it is. It sucks. It was the signing I wanted the most since last January. Since last December, I think was the first time I tweeted that I wanted it. So pretty salty about it, to be honest with you, especially with this Achirby news. But
The only reason I'm salty about it is because Newcastle fans were like chirping that.
Yeah.
It's very obvious what's happened. I mean, we were rivaling Newcastle back in January for it, and they decided not to sell him, which is fair enough. They had a Champions League knockout game to come and stuff, which was important. And it was us two at it again this summer, and we knew that they have more money than us, but we probably had a more attractive immediate project to pitch, and it seemed that he'd chosen us. You know, we'd agreed personal terms and everything, but we weren't able to reach an agreement with Lille, whereas Newcastle were. And I think he got not fed up of waiting, but, you know, pre-season starts for most Premier League teams on July the 1st. So I think he wanted his future defined by then, so he didn't have to go back to France to then, complete his move or whatever, which is fair enough. He probably gave Milan a deadline during the talks, and we said, no, we can't pay 40 million or 37 million, whatever it's ended up being, unfortunately. So that's it. We've missed out on one, but it could be a Simakan style thing where we end up with somebody better. Preferably not Francesco Achirby, but Here we are. That's the rumour at the moment. Although Sky are saying that he wouldn't be the alternative to Botman. It would be more a case of him just coming in as additional cover. I mean, the one positive, maybe two positives, the other being that he knows the league well. The other positive is that he'd be good for the UEFA and Serie A squad lists because he came through our academy system. I'm struggling for positives apart from that. The bloke's 34. He turns like a cruise ship. Laughs when goals go in. And
he was crucial to us winning the Scudetto.
Good man.
And that's not why we want him. You know, he's crucial because he made a terrible error that led to Tonali's incredible last-second goal. That's not the type of player you say, let's bring him in to defend for us. So it's not good. When you get those players, you know, like Radu and Achirby, you want them to stay on rival teams so that they continue to make mistakes, so that you continue to win. You don't want to bring them in and say, thanks for doing us a favor, now ruin it for us.
Yeah.
So that's,
Not going to lie, would definitely rather renew Romagnoli, who is 7 years younger and knows the club better.
He's entering his prime year, so he might actually do well.
Yeah.
You know, he could compete for a starting spot. Achirby's just collecting one last check before he sails into the sunset.
I mean, I understand that he'll probably be on much cheaper wages, but
I'm trying to win
I don't
titles.
get it. I don't get it. Yeah, I don't get it. And if there were a transfer fee involved for Achirby, given that he's got 3 years left on his contract with Lazio, then I just think that is a waste of negotiating time. You know, he's maybe the guy that you go to right at the end of the window just to say, we get this really cheap piece in to make sure that we're absolutely fine in defence. But, you know, as I've mentioned, I think on Twitter, I would rather give those minutes, whatever minutes that you're promising to Achirby. It might be none, but whatever game time that he might get, because he needs game time, otherwise it's a waste of money. I would give that to Gabia because at least he's young, at least he's our academy product, at least he can develop into something. They're not even that dissimilar in terms of a mould. You know, they're both slow and physical, and you know, it's I don't know. I don't really get it. I'm finding it tough to explain this one.
Well, like you said, Gabia's 22. He's the same age as Botman. Obviously, he's nowhere near Botman's caliber. But if we're gonna give someone time, give it to the younger guy. I mean, I guess I understand getting a Cherbian for leadership, but what has he really led? You know, he played 6 games for us in the past, and since then he's played for the lesser team in the capital city, like and no one else relevant. I mean,
How
so it's
much
not like
did
you're
he
bringing
play in the
leadership.
Euros in 2020?
Obviously, don't know.
I don't think he started. He might have started the first game, actually. I can't remember. But he started a couple of games recently for Italy and just looked really poor, just like off the pace, you know.
I mean, really, he's just another pair of legs with league experience.
Just about.
You know,
Yeah, but then his jersey number's higher than his age, or lower than his age. That's not as funny as I thought. His jersey number's 33, but he's older than that.
Yeah, that terrible joke just made me lose my train of thought. But,
sorry.
That happens.
I mean, when you have Tomori and Kalulu coming off the season that they just had, or how they finished it, throwing in a player like Botman could completely ruin the dynamic of that defense. You know, I mean, having the competition to start will be great because either you're going to compete or you're just going to fold under the pressure. But also, we're not a team who's ready to have multiple starting lineups within our squad. You know,
it's what you aim to build towards, but a Cherby doesn't achieve that.
I mean, I agree. We're definitely not there yet. You know, we don't have the roster size to do 2 starting
or the money
yet. Yeah, exactly. So you're definitely 100% right there. But I do think I would rather have as many good players as I can.
Yeah.
You know,
I think it also depends on where we finish the summer. Who else we sign? Because if we're going to sign a Cherby, but then also bring in, you know, a great
Ziyech
white
or something,
right winger, a striker, you know, then it's like, all right.
Yeah, if we
saving money here was worth it because we needed money elsewhere.
Exactly. Yeah, if we reallocate the Botman money, which 30 mil was our offer, that's still a good chunk of money that we can then put towards Ziyech, his option plus or loan plus option or whatever, or Asensio. I do think there are outcomes that this could turn positive, but none of those are signing a Cherby. I would much rather just renew Alessio because, who was it today? It was a sport media site who said a Cherby was going to be 5 mil. I don't think we pay that, but say we do because that's the only report we have at the moment. 5 mil plus probably 2 mil in wages for 2 years, maybe, you think? So we're looking at 9 mil right there. I mean, was Alessio really going to cost us that much more?
Do you also, I'll say, plus the tax that we're paying on his wages?
Yeah. I mean, if we were going to divert and there are reputable sources saying that's what we're going to do. We're going to divert most of the Botman money towards the attack, which is fine. We all know that needs the most investment. But I would still keep a portion of that, maybe 10 mil, and probe the market for a young and promising centre-back. Because if we've got somebody to come in who's a veteran, who knows the league, who can offer, all their experience and leadership, then it's Kier. Like, he's the one who you're looking at coming back and thinking he's a steady pair of hands if we need him to fill in. We don't need another one of those. Kalulu and Tomori are starter level in Syria at the very least. And then you can maybe go out, okay, we couldn't get Botman, get Maxime Esteve from Montpellier, who is literally him, but a bit younger and a bit more raw. If you set on that mold, then you can go out and find a cheaper version of it probably and allow them to develop behind who we already have. I don't really understand why we would need another player in their mid-30s who has so many doubts surrounding them.
The only thing that I could think of is, like you said in the beginning, is academy product.
Maybe Gabbia now gets sold, and we don't know what the Sampdoria interest really is.
I would hate
but let's say we find out that we're selling Gabbia to Sampdoria for 10, 15 mil. It's pure capital gain, and then we find out that gives us the leverage we need to sign Ziyech and De Ketelaere or something. Then you start to think, oh, this is making a bit more sense. But
how mad I would be
isolation,
if we do sell Gabbia for 15 mil. and Newcastle bought Botman for 40 and we were offering 30, and then all of a sudden we have 45 to spend
Yeah.
on defenders. Ooh, I'd be pissed.
But again,
Ye-
think about who else we might be bringing in.
yeah.
You know,
No, I get that. I just
I
know
do
with
too.
the
I'd rather
injuries that we
get-
always get.
I'd rather get an attacking midfielder, a right winger, and a striker.
And I agree with that, but I'm just thinking like, yeah, we had the best defense in Serie A last season, joint. But we had Kulu Tomori play most games. Kier played up until I think November. Romagnoli slotted in for a while. Gabia played 14 games. You know, like we mixed it up a lot. And now we're losing Romagnoli, who's 15 games. Kier, we don't know how he's going to return, if he's going to. And if we get rid of Gabia, like that's all of our coverage who we knew worked out the
We have
window. and
Balo
replaced him with-
Torre.
Yeah, about that. I quit. So.
Well, just play one centre back and a right
Yeah.
back and a left back. Just completely reinvent football.
Play a 5-a-side.
Yeah, I mean, as I always mentioned during the transfer windows, I suppose you don't put all of the pieces in the jigsaw in at once, and they all go in at different times. And really, it's about what's formed at the end rather than. But all we can do is judge this in isolation, and it's quite hard to justify.
Yeah,
as it
and-
is without any other context of what's to come.
To continue with your jigsaw analogy, you piece your pieces together, and at the end, if you only have like 2 pieces left and there's one hole, you just kind of mash one in until it works.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Mm.
We're putting in that piece first with the Chirby, and now the whole puzzle's fucked because of it. That's the way it looks. If you do that one last, then it kind of gets brushed aside, like Borini. Nobody wanted Borini when we signed him, but we had just signed 8-9 players that at the time we were all pretty excited about, so no one was too mad. In hindsight, it was pretty awful. This one, we have the power of hindsight first, and we're just like, what are we doing here? We haven't
Also,
signed anyone.
Barini's numbers were better than any of our right wingers last season, but that says more about them than anything else. The other thing that we should definitely talk about, and this is more encouraging news, I put in the chat a couple of months ago, I think it's just a matter of time before the Ziyech rumours come back up, because obviously Chelsea are trying to kind of reshape their attack. They got new owners, and Ziyech wasn't being used that much. We wanted him last summer. The contacts continued. Now it seems like it might be a bit more feasible, and I'm excited by this. I like this link a lot. Can play right wing, can play number 10, has Champions League experience, as we know. 29, so we'd have an attacker in their prime. Along with Origi, you could argue at 27, who's also in his prime. Fills two holes where we definitely need reinforcements, and it could be a loan with option, which would be even better, because if things go wrong and we don't like him for whatever reason, then it's low risk, like Bakayoko, I suppose.
He does fill 2 holes, but he can't fill 2 holes at once. When he's playing, so we still have the other hole. So as long as we get CDK or even get Marco Asensio and get both of them, I think that'd be great.
Would he be an alternative to CDK?
I think it'd be an alternative to Marco Asensio. I think that's who he would eliminate from the pecking order, and CDK would be the main window target, at least in my opinion.
I really hope so.
Ziyech would be a right winger more so than a 10. I'm fairly sure of that,
yeah.
because that's where he's played for Chelsea, because Chelsea don't really play with the 10 at the moment. And he'd be great in the sense that, we're looking for goal threat to take the burden off Leao and to also increase the supply to the strikers. He can do that because he can cut in on his left foot. So we'd have an inverted winger there. And that just, it increases our threat. It spreads it more. And I think he'd find Serie A much easier comparatively, because, the technical quality that he has, and he's got used to the speed of the Premier League, which is generally more intense without making too many generalizations. And I think he'd come over and find it a lot easier, and he'd settle in straight away.
I agree with that.
Yeah, the only doubts, I guess, is that he hasn't played regularly for a couple of seasons now. But those are the same doubts that we didn't mind about Origi.
Or Giroud.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So I'd like to see that one get done. Paid loan seems to be just the standard thing now. You don't really get quality players on loan for free anymore. So 5 million loan and a 20 mil option or something, 25 mil maybe, that would do me. That'd be good. That'd be a good start to the window in terms of, and then hopefully, because what Di Marzio said is that us getting him on a paid loan, thus deferring the cost to next year, would probably free us up to get Charles as well. So that would be fantastic.
If we could get both of them, I still wouldn't be surprised if we get both of them plus Asensio. I think Asensio is kind of the wild card for this window. I wouldn't be shocked if that's who comes in at the end. It sounds like he wants it, and again, all three of those players can slot into both holes. So I mean, Charles more so pretty set in stone as attacking mid than right wing, but Asensio can play both, and so can Ziyech. And having the three of them being able to rotate like our midfield trio last season was able to, I think that's perfect.
That would be lovely, yeah.
Do so well, yeah.
Pioli and Maldini likes signing them for him, but Pioli likes his versatile options, and I think that would just add a lot of strings to our bow in our attack. The main thing is that they offer more productivity. You know,
Lucas Leiva just went to Grêmio in Brazil.
That's back home for him.
Yeah.
I think the versatility for those two would be key. But the main thing as well is that we got absolutely nothing in terms of attacking production from the number 10 role last season. And then also the right wing, as we know, was very, very hit and miss. So it needs to happen because Leao can't keep doing it on his own. And as I say, it would hopefully increase the quality of supply to the centre forward, which would be massive as well.
And I think it actually would... Oh, just bumped my computer there. I think a lot of people would assume naturally if the right wing was on par with our left wing that it would reduce Leao's goal contribution tally because it's more evenly spread. But I think he would get even better with a good right winger because
you
just have more crosses.
They couldn't just double team him like they normally send the right back and centre back over to cover him and reduce
so
the
much more space.
Perfect.
That'd be lovely. I would like to see that. In terms of other transfer links, there's nothing much. Divock Origi will be arriving in Italy finally tonight. His flight lands about 7 o'clock. No, it's tonight.
Okay,
He'll be landing about 7 o'clock Central European time tonight. We'll do his medical fitness test, sign a contract tomorrow. Official announcement might be tomorrow, it might be Wednesday. As Maddie said, it'd be cool if they did it with the new kit, but apparently the new kit won't be coming out until early in July. So
well,
maybe
that's
he doesn't
Wednesday.
get announced until
Friday,
July.
I wouldn't be surprised if we just have like comunicado oficial, and Origi joins us on a permanent basis. But then like the video or whatever, I would come out probably later with the jersey because there's no way they're doing announcement videos without the new shirt. They're not going to use
it was new player unlocked, wasn't it? That was the theme last season, I think, and then it was animals for the season before that. So it'd be interesting to see if they go with a theme this year. I can see Origi being announced, as you say, with just the blank, him in the old shirt and stuff, which would be a bit of a letdown. But I suppose we've known that it's coming for a while. That's it. We'll see what comes from Divock. Pre-season, I think, will be pretty key for him because he's had a muscle injury which has delayed his arrival. So he needs to get back up to full condition. And I think from pre-season, we'll get some clues about how Pioli wants to use him. If he is just going to be a straight-up centre-forward or if he's going to play wide a bit. We'll see. But fingers crossed.
So is that you admitting that there's the potential for him to play on the wing?
At the moment, until we sign another winger, we're going to have to do it, aren't we? Because Messias isn't even permanently here yet, so that's fun.
Oh, shoot, yeah. Forgot about that.
Let's move on then. Shall we do we'll do the segment that we decided right at the last minute that we were going to do because of the lack of news developments. We decided that we were going to do a listener questions special. So put out the usual questions tweet. Sometimes we get fewer responses. Sometimes we get a lot. I noticed that we had about 15 replies fairly quickly, and there was a lot of good questions in there. And a certain man from Norway decided to fire in a load of sort of quick fire questions. So then it became opened up to a bit of a free for all. And we got 40 odd of them in the end. So I'll try and read through most of them. Some of them are going to be quicker than others, and we'll just see how many we get through. The majority of these are from Wally. I'm not going to lie. So unless
are you actually going to read all of his questions?
I'm going to read most of them. Some of them are inappropriate and would result in us being demonetized. But unless I say another name, it's from him. So we'll start with him. Who would win in a free-for-all fight between you all? Is that us three?
Yeah, it'd be me.
I think it would be Oliver, me, AJ.
That's hilarious.
Dog, I'm a black belt. Did
in
what?
You know
that? I think
Taekwondo.
Everyone is. That means nothing. Yeah.
Are you?
Zlatan is.
I'm not, but I
I
did
thought
real martial
everyone
arts,
is.
so fair enough. Fair
I'm
enough.
not. I'm
Yeah.
not.
No,
My plan would probably be to stand off to one side and let you two fight. And if either of you came at me, I'd try hold you off a bit.
I mean, all you gotta do is just hold AJ by the head, and he'll like swing at you like this.
And you as
know?
well, to be fair, Maddie.
Well,
yeah,
you to me.
for Oliver, he could do that to any human alive, but for you, you'd have to put it straight out, and like it would just be kind of here.
Is it kind of like anything goes? So, for example, could one of you two boot me in the bollocks, and then that's it? Like I'm in trouble.
I think it's like a gentleman's fight. Like you don't just hit in the balls.
Yeah.
Bollocks. What? My bad. If that's
balls is fine. Bollocks.
Yeah, I'm going with me. My money's on me.
Everyone should just back themselves, surely. Because if you're admitting that you're not going to win it, then that's not great. Going into
I'm not a fighter, man. Like I don't black belt, but you would really have to piss me off to,
You're calm.
I pushed some guy on the street yesterday.
Why?
I mean, I not like push him down, but no, we're trying to walk into the ice cream place, and he just stops right in front of the door, and so I just kind of wait for a second, and he's just standing there. And I'm like, hey, man, hey, excuse me. And he just wouldn't, so I just kind of gave him a real forceful little shove so I could go get my ice cream. Little banana pudding cone. It was really good. Had no wafer chunks in it. So that's my fight story.
Worth the push then, eh?
So if you want AJ to fight, get in the way of him and his ice cream.
Yeah.
Top 3 signings if we had a blank check to sign anybody. Again, this is Wally.
Anyone in the world.
Anyone in the world. So I guess he's basically asking for our 3 favourite.
Yeah, who are the 3 best players that would suit our needs at the moment?
I'll open up with Mbappe because we need a right winger.
Yeah, Mbappe.
That's a good one. I know he would say Neymar. He's well on the Neymar hype at the moment.
Yeah, he is. I mean, if it's anyone in the world, then obviously Mbappe striker, Messi right wing, and I would say we need a attacking mid. Who's the best attacking mid in the world?
De Bruyne would be pretty nice.
Yeah, probably De Bruyne.
Yeah.
I
don't know if I'd sign Messi, though.
You wouldn't sign Messi?
No.
No, it's too old. But the merchandise sales.
I'm thinking about on the field, not business perspective.
Nkunku. That'd be cool. I could get behind that.
That would be a fun one.
If they're all forwards.
Yeah, it would. I mean, if you got a blank check, you max out your attacking department. I mean, that's what PSG's done. That's what City's done.
Yeah, and how much have they won?
It's like the Harlem Globetrotters.
They've won all of their domestic opportunities.
We're not domestic giants. We're European giants, pal.
Yeah. Well, currently we're domestic giants.
We are.
Currently, we're not even domestic giants because we can't even sign. We're signing watch deals while our rivals are signing Paul Pogba and Lukaku. This is from Rocky Ward. In your opinion, which player or players in the current squad will go on to have the most successful international career? Should we all name one? We'll name one.
Yeah, Maignan.
Maignan, yeah, that's a good shout. I have 3 in my head.
I was going to say Theo Hernandez, but if it's Maignan, it's also going to be Theo because they both play for France.
They're both going to win a World Cup this winter.
Yeah, they are. Maybe.
I've
got money on the South American team because I think they'll deal with the heat now.
I've got money on Germany.
Really?
I never bet against Germany, except for
Yeah.
They don't strike fear into me like they did before.
But they also demolished.
It's not the 1940s. What are we afraid of?
I went to the Imperial War Museum yesterday. It was really good.
Yeah.
If you want something that changes sides a lot, then Italy generally do it quite a bit. So I would say
they're not qualified. They're not winning shit.
I'm going to say Rafael Leao, because when Cristiano Ronaldo retires, inevitably, someone's going to have to carry the weight of Portugal's attack. And I think that it might be him. And they've got talent around him as well. They've got good young midfielders. Bruno Fernandes is there. I think they'll be okay. I'll go with Rafa. The other one I was thinking was Tonali, but Italy in a really strange space at the moment.
Yeah.
Strange and terrible.
Well, they don't give Tonali any game time either,
We got multiple cricket questions, which is going to probably be just me answering. I'll do them now.
This isn't SempreMilan cricket.
No.
That's one of the questions, actually.
Abhijit Mohan asks, when will you guys do a Sempre cricket podcast?
Never.
Considering Milan started as a football and cricket club. Now, what I could do is a
Nothing.
little segment on how Milan started as a club. But what I would probably need for that is to interview some of Kilpin's family, because I know there are some out there. And in Nottingham, for example, there's a pub named after him, and there's a plaque, and you can go and see his grave. So that might be kind of cool to do as a video for the channel. You know, like how the foundation of the club started. But Sempre cricket, I think cricket is fairly well covered as a sport, I'll be honest. This is Wally again. Is it really a pod if you can't cast it?
What does that mean?
I don't know. I think he might be drunk.
Is he asking us to go live? Is that what that means?
What did he say?
So. Is it even a pod if you can't cast it? I don't know.
Yeah, next.
A podcast. Is it a pod
like
if you can't cast it? Podcast.
Yeah, it feels like a riddle.
It's like a thing on words. Yeah.
Favorite cable provider?
No comment.
No comment. Sky for me. They're doing a great job.
I don't have
here.
cable.
Also, I couldn't get Virgin Media here. There is no
Ask
availability
Isaac about
on that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was gonna make a joke about that. I was gonna say it's because you have a girlfriend.
Nicely done. Rohit asks, this is the last cricket question. Who is your favourite cricket player and why is it Sachin Tendulkar? My answer to that is it's Johnny Bairstow, and those of you who keep up to date with international cricket will know why that means something. Wally, again, top three fit. Go on.
No, I was going to say it was going to be whoever Rohit said because that was the first name I heard. But then you gave me a second name and I already forgot both of them, so I don't have an answer again.
Sachin Tendulkar or Johnny Bairstow. You know any cricket players? Shane Warne. You must have heard of Shane Warne.
No. You're severely overestimating how much people care about cricket in this country.
Well, it's on the rise in the USA.
No,
they put some funding into it, but like most of the team are Indian expats. So it is what it is. Top three favourite Pokemon?
Ooh. Venusaur's a good shout. I'm a big Feraligatr fan.
Aren't we all?
Yeah. I like some of the newer ones, but I don't want to expose myself. But yeah, we'll just leave it at those two.
Pikachu, Charizard, and those are the only two that I know.
I'll throw a Squirtle out there. My favourite Pokemon, I can answer this with one. I used to have Pokemon Ruby back in the day, and I had a level 99 Deoxys, and that used to kill everything.
Yeah, because you're hacking. Nice.
Yeah, I got. I actually bought it off someone, and I didn't realize that it was hacked. But yeah, that was good. Who's the worst at FIFA out of us, and how much would you lose to Wally?
I think Oliver's probably the worst.
I don't play it, so yeah.
It probably is Oliver.
I haven't played it since 18. Maybe.
Based on mine and Anthony's games, he's significantly better than myself.
Wow, I thought you were gonna lie again. Yeah. No,
I don't lie about things like you.
Okay, well, I am significantly better than Madison.
I've seen
Wally
play,
and
actually,
I have played multiple times, and when we used to play back in the day, when we play over the internet, I beat him often. But every time we played in person, he would beat me, and here's why. He refuses to play on the standard camera angle. He refused to play on the standard control set. And we had to play on the same thing. So he switches the button mapping and then says, like, oh, I beat you. But that's because he's used to it. No one else is. So Wally's a fraud.
You don't have to play on the same
You don't have to play on the same button.
When you're using the same Xbox, yeah.
No, if you're using separate controllers.
I promise you, this has been many fights.
Okay, well, this is also why PlayStation is better than Xbox.
That may be true.
That I agree with. I've always had PlayStation growing up. What was I going to say? Yeah, the camera thing. What does he play on? That end-to-end one or some shit? Oh, no.
So I play end-to-end. He doesn't even play on there's a normal one, but I could adjust the camera angle. But he
plays broadcast as well, where it like pivots.
I think that's the one he uses. Yeah,
that's
I don't know. He uses one that I'm like, this is weird.
Yeah.
I use the telly, I think.
Derek Favretto asks, would you take Dybala at 10 and Ziyech at right wing, or can we only afford one realistically? I think we could afford both of them.
I think
one's a loan, one's a free. It's just whether we want to break the internal wage thing, because I think Ziyech earns 5.6 mil net, and Dybala's asking for 6-7 around that. So we'd have to break our internal wage thing, and then Leao's going to ask for the same, and it has a knock on.
Well,
I
if
mean,
we could
at
get
some point, don't you have to pay your players?
yeah,
Yes.
and if we could get Ziyech on the loan with option and have Chelsea pay like, I don't know, 30% of his wages, 40% of his wages, and now we got him at 2.3, 2.6, maybe 3.7. You know, like I'm just throwing random numbers out here, but if we could get it lowered a bit, there's our room for Dybala, who would walk this league as he's proven for the last 6 years.
Yeah. The only question as well with that is how would it look in an 11? Like, would it compromise
Really
the way
nice.
that we play a bit? Because, the right winger generally is tracked back and the number 10 has a bit of a defensive responsibility. Don't know if Dybala would be asked about that, but we have been playing more possession towards the end of the season, and I think
that was more so a pivot than it was the game plan. I think that was like, well, the number 9 or the number 10 with Brahim's not working. Our right wings aren't as offensively keen as we'd like them to be. So let's readjust some roles here. And I think that putting in a pure 10 and a pure right winger, we would revert back to playing proper football the way that they should do it. And I think it'd be just fine.
Yeah, great shout. This is Wally again, and this one made me chuckle. Would you rather have beard but be bald, or long hair but a baby face?
I literally don't have to worry about either of those things, so I'm going to defer to AJ.
I don't know if the long hair's aimed at me.
No, I think it's himself.
It's that long.
I'm thinking he's talking about himself.
Right, yeah, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, Wally's got beautiful locks, so shout out Wally. But scientifically proven, women find bald men more attractive, and I would much rather Madison's beard than my own, but it's not bad.
Cheaper, less haircuts.
True.
Farino, who do you think has the lowest IQ in the squad? I think Salamakers.
I was going to say Salamakers.
I thought he meant the SempreMilan squad, and I was like, I don't want to answer this.
Out of anybody in the SempreMilan squad.
Farino. Just throw it back at him.
Yes.
No.
No.
Yeah, out of the squad. That's a good question. Well, if it was 2 seasons ago, it'd be easy to say Hakan, but I don't know who we could slot in there. Who is the guy we had on loan from Monaco? Pellegrini. Let's go with him because he's a fucking idiot.
Bakayoko, but I like Bakayoko.
I do like him too. We could say Ballatore.
No, Salamakers.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you know what? Yeah. Like, I know I'm dressed like a clown right now, but that's specifically for this podcast. I'm going to change as soon as it's over. But that idiot dresses like a
your girlfriend doesn't like it?
Person. Maybe she does.
I don't know. Like, lowest IQ can mean 2 things: like who's actually smart and who is smart on the football field. And I just think we've probably got a lot of clowns, that don't really know a lot. If you put them in a pub quiz team, they're
here's the thing: I don't think athletes are typically the smartest individuals in the world.
There's that too.
Yeah. Abdullah asks, from the rumors we've been hearing since the season ended, how many do you see us signing? Also, should we go for Bremer or a cheaper option and focus on the attack? Oh, yeah, Bremer. We mentioned him when we were talking about Botman.
I would still like to shoot for Bremer, especially if this Skriniar deal goes through to PSG. Force them into their backup signing. I think it's Milinkovic, who's still a good signing, but significantly levels below both. That said, I think our attack is far more important. And since we're not getting our first choice, maybe we just try and get our first choice elsewhere.
Yeah. Bremer, I think Bremer would probably cost about 25 mil, which is obviously a bit cheaper than Botman, but it kind of ruins the idea of diverting big funds towards the attack.
Exactly, yeah.
So there's a balancing act to strike. But yeah, it's weird. It's gone quiet on that. I mean, Correa Granata, who were quite a well-regarded Torino source, say that we're going to meet with them this week to discuss Bremer and if it's possible. The one thing that I think could tip that in our favour is if we could throw Pobega in there and maybe get it for like 10 mil plus Pobega because they really want him for some reason. And then you're talking about just a 10 mil cash outlay and you can look to other areas of the attack.
Yeah. Plus whatever Pobega's small salary is gets rediverted into Bremer's as well. So it's like the increase is that much less.
Pobega's probably on a better salary now after he renewed last time. Anyway.
Let Pobega go for Bremer. Give the kid a chance.
I agree. I think he's solid. And it sounds like we're not getting Renato all of a sudden, too. So we'll see what happens.
Renato thing's weird. I mean, there are suspicions that PSG are using it as a smokescreen to get somebody else. Vitinha has been mentioned. He's really good, and I don't know. It
Coutinho, is
sounds
that what you
like
said?
no Vitinha.
Vitinha.
Oh, I was like, didn't he just sign for Aston Villa?
Yeah.
Did he sign permanently? Yeah, I think
I
he
think
did,
so, yeah.
didn't he?
Yeah.
How the mighty fall. And yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see if there are any developments on that front, and if PSG actually make a bid or not. If they do really want him, then we've lost. He's going to go there. He's going to stay in France, and he's going to get a big pay packet from them. But it sounds like we're still confident on it. We'll see what happens. But at the moment, we don't know. If Maldini Massara can even launch an official bid for anybody yet. They need to renew ASAP. Stefano asks, favorite condiment. I think hot sauce for me. Yeah.
Hot sauce? Either hot sauce or barbecue sauce.
I also like an Asian spicy mustard. That's really good.
Spicy mustard's really good. Yeah.
I make a really good spicy mustard.
Okay.
I'm not doubting that, mate. Derek again asks, what do you guys think of the new FFP parameters that have been set by UEFA? Swiss Ramble have done a good thread on it. That's right, they have. Checked that out on Twitter. He breaks it down very nicely.
Well, we're one of the 2 teams in good standing with it right now, so yeah, bring it on.
Atalanta.
Yeah, we're in good standing, but they don't punish anyone else but us. So shit like Barca should be folded by now. Same with PSG.
So I watched actually a good video explaining why they're still able to get away with shit. It was on Tifo Football's YouTube page, so check them out too. But yeah, it's really interesting. There's reasons why they're
exploited the system.
Different.
Essentially,
yeah.
Yeah, they're not so much a punishment of debt. It's all about your costs versus your revenue, and you can rack up as much debt in previous years, but your monitoring period is 3 years. Clubs have been using COVID as an excuse. You got state clubs like PSG and Man City we all know they've artificially inflated the value of their sponsorships in order to circumvent and be able to spend more. I like the new parameters that are being brought in, but there's one thing in particular I don't like about it, and it is that before, so as things are now, I guess, spending on infrastructure, so a new stadium, a new training ground, didn't count against your costs. So, for example, Spurs and Arsenal and teams like that were able to build their new stadium, and it wasn't attached to their FFP bill. It was just an external thing financed separately. Whereas now it is going to count. So if we want to build a new stadium, the spread of that cost will be on our books, which is awful. I don't think
that's,
Better build the stadium now.
Unless they specify in time that, it's going to be certain types of infrastructure costs that are penalised rather than... Because I don't understand how clubs can be expected to build new stadiums which then generate more revenue, which create a more virtuous cycle. Right. How UEFA could punish that.
And I wonder if it's from here on out, or like for Everton, who's already started their stadium, will it continue to punish them? They're fucked financially, but
they might just have to provide proof that they can finance the stadium, and if they don't get adequate proof, then sorry, you're on the hook for it. But I don't know. They need to sort of make some clarifications on that for me, because it's a bit of a backward step. Wally again, Colombo or Nasty?
I guess I don't really have a preference. I mean, I don't.
Or who?
Marco Nasty, Primavera striker. Scored like 17 goals last season.
Yeah, I guess I'll go Colombo just because he's actually played adult football, even if it's just.
I'm gonna go goals. I'm gonna go the other guy because Colombo's had his shot and he doesn't capitalize.
Oh, poor guy. He's only 19. What was I doing at 19? I was playing Pokemon.
That's AJ at 29. So
28 until Friday.
He's 28 until he's 29. That's a fact.
That's how it works.
One of the best Twitter interactions of all time. I don't know. Look, Nasty, as you say, hasn't been proven in senior football yet. I would like him to get a loan to Serie B like Colombo had. Sounds like Colombo's going to Lecce on loan, which is good because it'll be a step up to Serie A, and their manager apparently really likes him. So I hope he goes there and gets some regular playing time, and we see how he looks in Serie A. Basically, especially if you're a striker, I don't think you need to be near the finished product until you're like 21, 22. So they've got a couple of years in them yet. And then we'll see if they're banging them in at a good level. Otherwise, they probably get sold. It's a bit like a Pinamonti thing for Inter, where He's pretty good, but is he going to be good enough for them in the short term? No. So they're going to sell him and cash in on him. There's also another guy in the under 18s called Jordan Longy, who is really good at that level. So one thing we are doing in the youth sector is bringing through good strikers, or at least promising strikers that could maybe make us some money, or they'll be good enough. We'll find out. This is a good one. Favorite reporter? Nico Shearer. Alan Shearer.
Yeah.
Good one. Good one. Italian. Tancredi Palmieri. No, I think my favourite Italian reporter is probably... this is tough. I'd say Anto Vitiello's good. He does some good stuff for Milan News. The other one is Pepe Di Stefano for Sky.
Yeah,
the one who's always live and direct. He's good. My favourite general...
Italian?
No, I mean, my favourite general reporter is David Ornstein for The Athletic. Like, he just breaks massive news out of nowhere and it's spot on all the time. So I think he's fucking fantastic. He must have some incredible contacts in his phone book.
I like Alan Myers and the Bobble. They're both Everton guys, and they are typically pretty reliable.
Mm-hmm. Swiss Ramble, I mean, he's not a reporter because it's not news so much, but in terms of like an account that provides information, Swiss Ramble's really good at breaking stuff down for people who we don't know about football finance and stuff. Favorite color combination?
Red and black.
Red and black.
Red and black or blue and white. Either of those will do me. Probably same for you, actually, Maddie. Favorite hair color?
Bald.
I like Tamori's blonde. Tamori's gone blonde.
Tamori's blonde
kept
actually
the
does
promise
look good,
to Bakayoko, and it looks really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go redhead. Get crazy.
Brunette.
Okay. I don't know if it was restricted to females or if it was just like a general...
I was just throwing it out. Yeah.
I red hair.
I thought that's what we were getting at.
Yeah.
Too.
Okay. Yeah. I'll go brunette as well, so I'm not in trouble.
Maddie's trying to get brownie points with his wife, who won't listen to the pod anyways.
Damn straight.
Get her on.
She has better things to do.
Fair enough.
Favorite car? Now, I don't own a car. I never have, but I'll say my favorite car.
Well, you have to get your license first, pal.
Yeah.
He starts drinking. Yep. That's tough. Probably Aston Martin DB9. That was
like year or just car in general.
Car in general, I guess.
Oh, Ford Mustang.
Same. Favorite word?
Fuck.
AJ's is nibble.
Mine's probably waff, which is very...
I've never heard you say that.
It's specific northern slang. I would only use it with my mates, but it basically can just mean anything. Like, price of pints is waff. It can mean expensive. It can mean... It's like a modal adjective. Luciano, are there any updates on the women's team? Should we expect big changes after last season's shake-up? What I would say is go on our website, and the Femminile section has constant roundups of all the transfer news. There is genuinely too much shake-up to list in this video. But yes, some key players are leaving. Some good players are arriving. Sounds like they're heading for a bit of a new era because the league has become professional. The aim has to be to challenge Juve for the next title, I guess. But the good news is... I guess. Yeah, I mean, they're just streets ahead of Juventus at the moment. So it might be a very tough ask. Roma are pretty good. Inter are annoyingly catching up a bit as well. But Milan's team is still better. It could be an exciting season, really. It could be. Stefano asks, do we have chicken nuggets and burgers to thank for winning the Scudetto? I think we do.
Yes.
Look, if you're going to ask for hard work, you're going to ask for sacrifice. There needs to be a reward at the end of it. There needs to be micro rewards before the major reward. And those micro rewards were burgers with mayonnaise.
That's a punishment. Ugh.
That was Brahim Diaz, wasn't it? Who said a burger with mayo.
Oh, he did,
Beef
yeah.
burger. I mean, chicken burger with mayo. I can sort of understand.
That at least
Beef
makes more
burger.
sense. Still disgusting, but makes more sense.
Yeah, you don't like mayo, do you?
I hate it.
Yeah. I think the answer to that is yes. Yes, we do. Pete asks, if Milan win the Scudetto again, will one of you with hair? Oh, sorry,
So
AJ.
not me. 'Cause I
Style
was
it
the one who
like
said.
style it like 2012 El Shaarawy. Is that the mohawk?
Yeah, it was. It was like the faux hawk with the shaved side. So it was a mohawk, but it wasn't like crazy pointy. It was. Boop, 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 boop.
Yeah.
I
If
actually
my
did
hair
do
was
that
long
in
enough,
2012.
Grow my hair like that,
I will do
though.
that.
Cool.
How long does it have to go before you do that?
Was that 2012?
Yeah. Might have to get a picture of that up.
Waleed did it for a little bit too.
None of us are
I got
committing
pictures
to
of
doing
him
that.
like that if we want to expose him.
Yeah, do it. Speaking of Waleed, he wants to know what our favourite flower is.
Ooh, I like the birds of paradise.
Self-raising.
Was that a fucking baking reference?
Yeah.
All purpose.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
think
the El Shaarawy haircut will not work.
I don't think I could grow hair that thick. Maybe
I was
don't
I was
know.
gonna try
My
and share
hairline's over
my
there.
screen, but I'm not sure which window it's
Yeah.
gonna share. I don't
Yeah,
wanna share
he
all my
says one
work
of you guys
stuff,
with
so-
hair, but by
Get
the
some
time
porn
that it's time to do this haircut, Madison's the only one who's gonna have hair.
Yeah.
All he's going.
Yeah, I'm
around.
gone. I'm long
Yeah.
gone. I think my favourite flower is probably a white rose, Yorkshire reference.
Got some right up here. I got
Good
a
man.
bunch of flowers up there.
Do you know, it's gentrification, basically, isn't it?
Yeah, that's exactly
Cohabiting.
what's happening. Yeah.
Yeah. Lorenzo asks, next pod, who says
Are you
no
gonna
to
ask
a
us what our
Lorenzo-
favorite flowers are, or
You've had a
Well,
while to
AJ
answer.
said
You
his
just
and
didn't.
You just started
sorry,
talking about
I was
porn.
talking about El Shaarawy. I'm not gonna
He-
share my favorite flower.
So after all that, you're not even going to tell us what it is. Lorenzo quiz next episode.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. He can do it on his own.
Yeah, because we're not going to be here next week. So
Yeah,
yeah, Lorenzo,
exactly,
if you want to
that's
do
what
a
I'm
quiz next week by
thinking.
yourself, go for it. Get 100%.
No, him
Stefano-
and Steph can do it together.
Yeah, I was thinking that because Stefano can disagree with his own answers. Abichi asks, who does AJ think? No, who does Maddie think is shorter, AJ or Insigne? I don't think any man is shorter than Insigne. I really
Martino.
don't. Is his wife taller than him?
I don't think Martino's even shorter than Insigne. I think Insigne is really short.
He's 5'4".
Short-tempered.
He's 5'4".
Fuck.
Fuck.
That's
Poor
grim.
guy.
I
If he
looked it up
wasn't
before I
a
tweeted.
world-class baller, he ain't getting married. That's short.
His wife is taller than him by
Yeah, no
a good few
shit.
inches.
I bet
Yeah.
Messi's wife
but
is
why-
taller than him as well.
I'll have a look at that.
It's
Messi
a power
wife.
play. Just because he's
Don't-
got money, he could
No,
get away
Messi's
with it.
lost.
wife's shorter.
Well,
Messi's
Messi's
wife
not
is
that
a few
short.
inches
Messi's
shorter,
not
that's true.
5'4".
Yeah.
How
What?
tall
How
is
tall
he?
is Messi? Like 5'9"?
Yeah.
They-
No,
yeah.
it's like 5'7", but still, I mean, a lot of
They
women
call
are
him short
5'4".
just because the people who hate him are Ronaldo fanboys, and
5'7" is short.
Messi's not 5'7".
Ollie just said that he is.
No, I thought
Messi-
he's.
Messi height. Messi is 1.69 meters. What does that mean? What's that in English? 5'6.5".
No.
Yeah,
He's
he is
tiny.
short.
He's
to be
short.
fair.
Wow.
And his wife is shorter than him.
Well, but that makes sense. Most women are like 5'3", 5 foot. You just got
Happens.
a tall girl.
Is there going to be a joke about Hakam's wife
Apparently.
being shorter?
Yeah.
Did you say I got a tall girl?
Yeah, Shannon's tall.
That means I'm tall too, then, right?
No, you're average for a man. She's tall for a woman. You're average for a man.
In more ways than one. How tall's Martino?
I don't
5'1".
know. He's not
I
5'1".
think he might be legally a midget.
Martino's
Can he
not
get on roller
5'1".
coasters?
No, not the adult ones.
Where are you getting this information?
Right here.
He's not even on to defend himself.
I hope he watches this.
Hey,
I don't
he
even know
got
if he
some
watches the
strays
podcast.
He will
earlier
watch.
from you on Twitter. That was funny.
Anyway, watch. He's compiling some lists. Favorite Inter account? Wally asks us.
None. They're all shit.
Yeah.
So,
That's
no,
tough,
I like Sia. Sia's got some good takes sometimes.
Who is
That's
that?
it. He's been a guest twice before the derbies.
Siafiyushish or whatever.
Siavush Falahi. Favorite food? I don't know if you mean, this is Wally again, if he means cuisine or just like favorite one-off meal or favorite.
I'm a big fan of Chinese food.
Same, big fan. Yeah.
Although I had some Thai food on Saturday, went to this place called Bangkok Joe's, and had some drunken noodles that were really spicy. Fantastic.
Yeah, how'd that end?
It was good for me. Someone else struggled with it.
I'm not a massive fan of Thai food.
I think my favorite food is American barbecue.
Yeah, I could have guessed that for you.
To be different, I'll say that I really, really enjoy Indian food. I like a good curry. But I don't think it's obviously
What
a
is
huge
English
thing in
food?
roast
Bangers
dinners.
and mash.
Fish and chips, which bangs. You can't lie and say that fish and chips isn't nice. Fish and
Cod
chips
is awful.
unbelievable. Have had
Fish
it.
and chips
then.
is good.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Except when we got
I don't
fish
like getting
and
cooked
chips
fish.
in England, it had the head on it still, and Shannon was like, "I'm not eating this."
To be fair, I've never heard of that.
Really?
Yeah,
That's some
seriously.
skew
Yeah.
stuff.
It was
The
at
weirdest
like
thing-
a pretty popular like beer chain place too.
Mad. I mean, the weirdest thing that you can get, like, so I live in London at the moment. You can go to fish and chip places and get jellied eels, which is where they literally catch eels out of the River Thames, boil them to cook them, cut them up into pieces, and then they preserve them in gelatin, and then you pick the eels out and you eat them, and they're meant to be a bit like chicken.
It's like what Isaac eats, like the canned.
He eats cucumber on fucking
Fish.
toast. Or some
Yeah,
shit.
but that's significantly more normal than the he was eating like sardines just straight out of the jar. Some
No,
weird
it
nasty
wasn't
shit.
sardines. What was it?
It was a different fish.
herring.
Herring.
It
It was
was
herring,
herring,
and
yeah.
it's rank.
Pickled
It
herring.
smells so bad.
Yeah,
It
he
smells
just eating it.
unbelievably bad.
We wonder
then-
things about
He goes from that to like cream cheese and cucumber on a cracker, and I just don't understand how that's possible.
Yeah, he either eats the most bland, boring food or the most rancid thing you could imagine. There's
And
no in
Swedish
between.
food is all right, actually. Like the meatballs and stuff and gravy are
That's
nice.
the only
And
thing
he
they
never
make.
eats any of that.
Yeah, never.
Isaac's
Rodrigo,
gotten a lot of shit this podcast.
This has been a shit talking episode, the whole episode.
we need it, man. We need just to relieve some of the tension.
There's a lot of tension here, apparently.
Plenty of it. Rodrigo asks how the new owners of Milan think that we could come back again with budget of 50 to 60 mil. How will players like Leao feel about this?
I
think the
wouldn't
budget
believe
is that.
budget that you hear.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think we kind of talked about that last week. But yeah,
Felice.
Felice Raimondo did a great thread on why there's no such thing as a fixed transfer budget. There might be a fixed minimum that it can go up from based on that current situation at that moment, but there's so many moving parts that you can't really have a fixed budget. I think we know the areas we need to strengthen, and we probably know a ballpark figure based on the sales that we're hoping to do and stuff. But if opportunities arise, I think we'll be there. And like AJ said, something like an Asensio, given that he has a year left on his deal, could become something towards the end of the market where we just
Especially
jump
when
on
he
it.
said he's not going to renew. So that's already a discount there, too.
Yeah, kind of mad how that's ended because he wasn't terrible for them last season, but I know he suffered with his injuries and stuff. Greetings, SM, says Hossam Diwan. Can you tell us which two signings you would make if all of the following were available and the reason? CDK, Zaniolo, Ziyech, Asensio, and Lang.
CDK, I think everyone's going to pick.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy with either Ziyech or Asensio, to be honest with you. How old is Asensio? Is he older?
26.
He's younger than Ziyech. I
By
think I'm
3
going to go
years.
with that then. Because he's, he's never been an out-and-out starter for Madrid. Ziyech hasn't either been for Chelsea, but Asensio's won everything multiple times. Bring that mentality in, just like Teo, and keep a guy like Zlatan in the locker room. I think that's going to do numbers. I bet Asensio could revitalize his entire career with us, and I wouldn't be shocked. So I'm going Asensio. I've talked myself into it.
Yeah. So actually, Asensio had his best season last season. He scored 10 goals in 31 league games, with quite a lot of those appearances being off the bench. So you could argue that we're signing a player who's never been more confident in his own abilities if we get him. I remember went on holiday to where was it? Mallorca, and they had Real Madrid TV on the hotel hotel TV. And it was during his breakout season, which I think was 2017-18. And I think he scored in like his first 3 or 4 starts, and the entire Real Madrid TV hourly run through was basically dedicated to his rise and stuff. And I remember thinking he's going to be something else.
Well, everyone was saying he was going to replace Ronaldo when he went to Juve.
Yeah.
And I could see, especially if he's forcing his way out, like he obviously doesn't see himself at Madrid much longer. He's not happy there. He doesn't think he's getting the time he deserves. He's got something to prove. And like you said, if it's the best season of his career, now he wants to be a dedicated starter, which he would be for us. I could see him absolutely saying, like, I got a chip on my shoulder. I want to go far in the Champions League. I want to specifically beat Real Madrid. We probably won't. But I could see him wanting to do that and giving his all plus a little more.
I go so far as to say that Zaniolo would probably, given the cost that would be involved, would be at the bottom of that pile as well. I do really like him, and don't get me wrong, he would be an absolute upgrade on the right wing position. He just would. He's there's still something there with him. And I think under Mourinho, he might start to regain his confidence and stuff. But you can't be paying 60 mil for somebody who's had 2 ACL operations. James Rodriguez to Milan, who says no?
Me.
PSV, someone replied. He's going there. He's going there to replace Götze.
Oh, that makes sense, because Götze had a 4 mil release clause that got activated.
Who
some German team.
Frankfurt.
It was Frankfurt, yeah.
He's now a teammate of Jens Petter Hauge.
There you
go. Luciano asks, what do you think should happen with the following? Maldini Jr., Colombo, Gabia, and Plizzari. Should they all go on loan? Should some of them get chances, etc.?
Well,
Maldini
Jr. is not his name.
Loan.
Go ahead.
Maldini Jr. is not his name. I think he...
I added that because he just put Maldini.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I think he needs to get some time to see where he stands.
Can we loan out Paolo?
All the players talk about how good he is. Not all of them, but like...
Yeah, because they want money off his dad.
Yeah, right.
Just but like up for no reason.
When they're asked about him in interviews, like people say nothing but like that he's a quality kid. So, hopefully he can actually do that on the field and not just be like a Hakeem
Mastur.
Yeah.
Yeah,
also,
no, I think spot on everything you said.
Well, you got to remember that Christian Maldini, which is his Paolo's older son, was in our academy, and we got rid of him. We said you're not good enough. He was a defender as well, so he really could have followed the path. And he's now playing in the 3rd tier, I think, with Pro Sesto. And yeah, I suppose there must still be something there because we're hanging on. We're staying in around the first. He's getting some minutes. He scored his first Serie goal last season. He is he's some way off the finished product yet. I think he's got a lot of growing to do, outwards, put some bulk on and what have you. But I don't know. We saw some good things from him when he played a bit deeper. And I wonder if maybe that could be a thing moving forward. We will see. Lorenzo Colombo, I would loan out. He scored 6 goals in the first half of last season at Spal in Serie B and then didn't score after that. So he needs another loan spell. He's not ready to come back and enter the rotation. It wouldn't be fair on him either because he's not going to get enough minutes to develop. Any disagreements on that?
Nope.
Matteo Gabia.
Keep
him.
Yeah. I think so. And Plizzari.
Loan or sell.
That's a tough one because I would say he's better than Tatarusanu at this point.
Yeah, but does he want to stay a backup?
Exactly. That's a tough one.
I'd say what I'd do. I'd renew Mirante for 1 more year. So that way him and Tatarusanu expire in 2023. And then loan Plizzari out. And then when he comes back from his loan, he can be back up straight away. That's what I'd do. Favorite movie villain?
I don't know.
I think I have an answer to this. I'll go first. Once we did a thing in this country, some people might know, it might not, in the UK, called the Otley Run, which is a pub crawl you can do in Leeds. It's 18 pubs and you have a pint in each, throughout the course of the day, so you kind of pace yourself. We all went in fancy dress and I went as the Riddler off Batman.
So lame.
Oh, it was really cool though. I was all in green with the top hat and question marks all over me.
I don't know if I have a favorite villain. I will say I like the villains of the Batman movies the most out of any superhero.
Well, is it just superhero this question, or is it?
No, just favorite movie villain.
I wasn't even thinking of superheroes, but I don't know, man. I don't know. As a kid, I always enjoyed the villains more, but as I got older, I was like, all right, that's cool. The good guys are, good dudes.
So you strike me as like a Cruella de Vil kind of person.
Ooh,
it's a very strange one, but I did
That's
fuck with that
harsh.
movie. I thought it was a good movie. I guess Darth Vader is like the easy pick.
Oh,
He's probably the
I
most
didn't even
iconic.
think about Darth Vader.
Yeah,
What Darth
I mean,
Maul?
no, I think Darth Vader is probably the most iconic villain in movie history, right?
Yeah, probably.
So
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. Shout out my dude Vader.
Yeah. I'll throw Tuchel out there from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, played by Eli
I thought you
Wallach.
said Tuchel from fucking Chelsea.
Tuchel, or Tuchu from Inter, Joaquin
Yeah.
Correa. Semba asks thoughts on Cathal Heffernan. Now, you guys forgot he existed when he signed
Correct.
permanently.
Yep.
He made his Primavera debut towards the end of last season, which was basically the main point in his development, really. I think it says a lot that we paid a fee to bring a player over from Ireland. Like, we've clearly seen something there. I know he's Ireland's under 17s captain, I think. It'll be a few years before he's ready or near ready, obviously. But I think, if anything else, I don't know too much about him specifically as a player. You can't watch the games or anything like that. But if nothing else, it shows that our scouts are scouring very, very hard. To find players like that is almost random. It's like a Football Manager signing. But yeah, more stuff like that. Like with the Kalulu one, some more low-cost gambles like that. Favorite fish?
To eat or just in general?
I don't know, just in general, I think.
The Golden Dojo Loach.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
It looks like an eel, but it's not. I used to have a bunch of them.
I like dolphins.
Oh, those are the ones
Not
that
a
you put
fish.
in the warm water tanks.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah,
right?
I got that.
Yeah.
But to eat, I like tuna.
Yeah, nice tuna steak, fire.
Mm-hmm.
Or tuna sushi.
I like salmon. I really like salmon. Salmon's versatile as well. You can have smoked salmon. You can. I mean, I'm not too fond of anything in terms of keeping pet fish. I had goldfish, but one of them I got from a fairground actually lived for
Nice.
9 years.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, that was mental. It was almost inconvenient by the end. Favorite ever transfer to Milan?
Favorite ever transfer to Milan?
Wow.
Balotelli when it came back. I know it was a flop, but I was hyped as fuck.
Zlatan when he came back.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
What was the question?
Favorite ever transfer to Milan? As in, like, Milan signing
to Milan? Oh, man.
Kind of like the Tonali one as well. But that's recency bias. But just beating Inter to him and signing a boyhood Milanista was good.
I was super excited when Kevin Prince came back.
Yeah, me too, honestly. I was hyped on that shit. I was hyped when we signed De Jong also. I liked him.
There's some brilliant questions coming. Is Acerbi low-key an upgrade on Romagnoli? That's Lorenzo who asked that. And that
not even
and also,
close.
Someone asked, when will Lorenzo be back on the podcast?
He won't.
When he
After
starts
that
throwing out these horrible questions.
What could he be an upgrade in?
I don't know. His uncle told him that, so he's just rolling with it, It's like, go enjoy your 40-degree weather in Napoli right now.
Yeah.
That's not enjoyable.
That's why I said it, yeah.
Oh.
So someone's quoted a tweet here and said, FC Barcelona's offer to Ousmane Dembele, 6 million net per year plus bonuses. And they said, attached to that, should Milan be in the Dembele race at those figures? No.
Negative.
No.
He's injured all the time.
Yeah, that's it, innit? He'd tear Serie A new ass. There's no two ways about it if he could stay fit for more than 30% of the games.
Yeah, I think Stefano's got better knees than that guy.
That's for him questionable.
And not me. Yeah, I'm getting a Zlatan soon. Keyhole surgery beckons for me. Favorite Norwegian? John.
Me.
No. You. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
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 I'm sure that was from Walid, right?
Were the Vikings Norwegian? Was that there from?
Yeah.
Well, there's
Ragnar
Norwegian.
Lothbrok was my favorite.
Oh, that's good shout out. Yeah. Nice.
Thanks.
Yeah, but he might not have been Ragnar Lothbrok. I'm googling if he is.
You know what I really like was his son, the
Danish.
crazy one.
Danish, damn.
Oh, well, Vikings, whatever. It's all the same. Who was Ragnar's son? He was like insane. He fucking
Ivar the Boneless.
That's the one. Yeah, he was sick.
I fucking hated Ivar.
Everyone does, but that's my favorite TV villain, even though he's a real life person.
I think he was boneless.
No,
No, he just his legs were paralyzed.
Is that right?
I thought he was just like a kind of a giant pussy, and that's why they called him that, like a coward, like boneless coward.
No, it's because he couldn't walk. Per the show Vikings. I don't know how accurate that
I hate this guy. He invaded England.
Yeah, they all did, brother.
And
You're
lost.
welcome.
Brother.
They dominated the Irish Sea, which doesn't surprise me. Abhijit Mohan asks, why did Ollie rob that elderly man in Chinatown, Toronto? And who can we hope to see purchased with that money? That's the Ziyech money, fellas. Keeping it
you're
safe.
welcome.
Okay, I've reached the end of the list. That was good. That was fun. I enjoyed that.
That was good.
Something a bit different. You know, there's nothing to cover, really, apart from tenuous transfer rumours. So it's great to get the community involved. Thank you to everyone who sent in questions. Thank you to Wally for sending in, I don't know, there must have been 25 of those 50 questions were his. But he just wants to know about us, you know, and I respect that. Yeah, as a reminder, I mentioned it last week. Sometime this week, hopefully, we will be launching our Scudetto merchandise. It will be a design followed up by designs based off it. That will become apparent when it gets released. So stay tuned for that on all our social media channels. Drop the video a like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and give us a rating on Spotify or whatever podcast listening platform you use, just to help us out on the ratings front. That would be fantastic. And as always, stay checking out the website for the latest transfer news. I'm trying my best. This is actually a welcome break because I log on and write 30 articles a day about the same shit. And people get frustrated at me for doing it. And believe me, there's nobody more frustrated than me that I have to write it. So this has been a nice break. Thank you. I've been your host, Ollie Fisher. AJ, thanks for joining in.
Yeah, and heads up, we're not going to be recording next week. Always going to the Canary Islands with his missus on vacation. It's 4th of July weekend, so Maddie and I will be celebrating our independence from Ollie's nation.
Us, actually,
yeah, from the tyrannical empire. And ironically, that's probably when we're going to announce our first signing. So the week after is going to be a good episode. Now, Madison.
I have nothing to say besides see you guys in 2 weeks.
Yep, we'll be back in a fortnight. Thank you for watching.
Eccolo Ante in area di rigore, Ante, Ibra, gol! Vediamo se è buono, ce lo dà buono, ce lo dà buono, ce lo